Action. I've got all of the dirty deeds done. And I got a cool shirt, man. I'm so happy. I didn't see it yesterday at this store. And it was like $5, man. And it's synthetic. Yes. So that's going with me. I also purchased a camo hat, which I sent off to Bishop. I went to the post office this morning and sent away a small priority box, another whole bag of those dehydrated beans. That's 2 of those things that I have waiting for me. And I'm just getting ready to go, man. It was a crappy night in this smoky smelling room. I have a headache. That's about it, I think. Got a lot of food I'm carrying today. I've got maybe 2.5 pounds. There's 2 burritos, an avocado, and a third, and a big chunk of cheese. So we'll take care of that at the campground today. Other than that, man, I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty excited. I've got a good plan for the rest of the trip. I sent some postcards today also. Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful day right now, right here. This is Ward Mountain Campground, National Forest Campground, maybe, I don't know, 6 or 8 miles from Ely. I turned 1,000 miles. Yay! And man, this is only $4 a night to stay here. It's a huge campground. Hiking trails back here. And there's hardly anybody here. The water has not been officially turned on here yet. However, one of the rangers at the ranger station headquarters said I could take the covers off and access some water, which I'm gonna need. So this is actually vacation time. I'm not planning on riding hard. I've got literally 5 days and roughly 1168, I don't know, it's like 1162, so 100 and, no, that can't be right. It's like 5 days to get to Bishop, and I'm just gonna milk it. If I've got drinking water, I'm gonna milk it. So yeah, I did this fix-it on the tent stakes, which was kind of getting a little serious. They were starting to break. They're just fiberglass. And so in 3 places it started to crack, and I needed a really thin tape to repair it. And I was thinking Scotch tape, but even that's too thick. And then I realized the post office has this priority tape. And I was there today, and it's thin enough to tape over those cracks and yet fit inside the metal sleeve. So I was thinking, well, how am I going to get some? And then I filled out a label, took the sticker off the label, and said, man, there's some like paper that I can put sticky tape on. So man, I did it, and I fixed it at the motel room. And that's my bicycler's tip, man, because if these tent stakes break, I don't have a tent, which I'm going to set up soon, because there's some really unsteady atmosphere here, and it's going to be going on for the next few days. Really unexpected. It rained last night, yet dried by this morning, so that was great. And there was a wind coming from, I think, the north and east, like this low pressure is just rotating over the whole state of Utah. And after those 3 days, I have 3 windy days, which I have no idea which direction that wind is going to come from. I am getting a NOAA station in the motel room. Let's see if I get it here. It's really, really super helpful. No, wait. Oh, this is the station I need. No reception. I just barely got it in the motel room. No, no luck. So I'm just going by memory. Well, it's a beautiful day. This is May 18th. It's been a long trip, but it just seems like almost a dream. So it's going fast. Today, I'm gonna pack up and bicycle up the trail. I don't know how far, just for another campsite. I'm hoping to get away from the din of the highway. It's a little disconcerting because it's super busy. There were trucks all night on Highway 6, and I was hoping it wasn't going to be busy and that I would have a little more peace of mind while pedaling. I found out some more information about the roads, and I've altered my route to stay on Highway 6. I was going to go through Fish Lake Valley, I think. And I found out those roads are all gravel. It's not gonna work for me. So we're gonna stay on Highway 6 all the way to Bishop. 260 some miles, I think, from here. I'm down with it. I just have to diminish the pack. I'm just gonna relax and take my vacation now. There's a mountain back here, Ward Mountain. There's still snow up there. We're gonna go back, set the camp up, and hike around. This also, this pad is sand topped with this gravel. Really nice, you know, in the situation where it just floods rain. But it was cold. I figured these little stones would be cold. It was cold last night. So on those cold nights, I'm awake at 4 in the morning, trying to get warm, trying to get warm, trying to get warm, maybe snatch a half an hour of sleep. But all in all, I got enough sleep. I'm sleeping by dusk. That's about it. We'll check in later. Alright, this is much better. About 3/4 of a mile from the campground. I was able to bicycle most of that way up here, but this here forest floor is just maybe like 2 to 3 inches deep, and just a beautiful cush floor here to sit on. And I do believe it won't get cold. And just over here, there's a rise, and then a drop down, and the mountains right up here. I can see mountains that way. Then we got clouds again building up, but we're gonna do a day hike, and I'll get some decent images of those mountains. Yeah, there's the highway. Hooray! It's just way nasty busy. Really unexpected. Las Vegas, 200 and some miles. Ooh, I don't want to figure that out. Here's a nice trail, man. There's Ward Mountain, I think. There's where I would ski right there. I think the campground is right down here. I think I'm camped right over in there somewhere. And when I leave, I might pass right there at the bottom of those mountains. Looks like a road going that way. It's a real pity. Today is a perfect day to ride. Just an occasional gust of wind. I just don't want to worry about that. The final ride. What I just really want to focus on is relaxing here for as long as I can until I'm tired of it. And same with the next place. It's another forest campground with running water, not piped water. And that's my last break before the 110 miles or so. We'll get it. I'm on my way to Bishop. Nothing will stop me. Trail keeps getting better. Climbing up the ridge. Over here is the Ward Mountain. And now I'm getting views north and east. Ely is just down there somewhere. Over here, there's mining activity, and you can tell it's been pretty serious. Over here, too. Another mountain over here with snow. I'd almost wished my route would go next to these snow-covered mountains, but it just basically goes along the ends, so there's no real water, draining water. It doesn't get that far. This is what I've been looking for right here. Man, you see how big this tree is? Probably doesn't even look big compared to what the film can make of it, but it's ancient, and it's the first one like it I've seen traveling in these mountains for many days now. And it's still alive, which is incredible, because a lot of it is dead, and it looks like it's dying. Man, what a beautiful tree. It's a juniper, but it's just ancient. I mean, you've got animals and insects and creatures and monsters that require these old snags, old trees with places to hide. I got just bit by an ant or something. Those are the guys that like these trees. Oh man, so cool. Oh, you rat pig. Alright, so I'm off the trail now. It went down this way, and it might come back up through this pass. I'm just kind of angling through this pass. My campsite is on the other side of this ridge, but I didn't want to follow the trail down that way. It went to a road, and I don't know what happens after that. Doing good. Well, here it is a little bit farther. I just came around this ridge side, and down in the saddle was the road, and then I saw the trail that continued around this side of the slope. Apparently it comes back around this side somewhere, and my campsite is over this way, maybe a couple miles, but I'm thinking I might go this way. I can find my way back, no problem from here, but it's a little longer going down and on the trail. I'd like to go up this way. I can see there's what I'm realizing now are white pines, and the pine trees with sharp needles are probably bristlecone pine trees. I'm just going to follow this closed road up this draw, maybe climb up for a view, and then decide which way to go. It's reaching my comfort zone to return, because in strange areas, territory, new areas, I have to give myself a little extra time, especially if I'm off trail. And that's probably what I'm going to do. I might even find the trail that comes back around. We'll see how it goes, but this is pretty fun. I'm mostly kind of looking for the bigger animals. Lots and lots of footprints, and some big footprints, big elk track, maybe even sheeps, elks. All right. I've climbed up here pretty high. Now I know for sure I came around this ridge, and I don't know if I came around that one, and my campsite's down that way. Most likely that's where it is, but I can't confuse the two now. That's a big discrepancy. This is something I saw from up here. Now we're gonna go down there, try to figure out what that is. Now I see some signs maybe, which might give me some answers. I mean, I'm not lost, but I don't want to waste a bunch of time going the wrong direction. We'll see what happens. Can really see that. I think it's a mining operation. Massive. Now if that's water, I don't know. I can see why that is out of sight. That's like a... It's a lot of forest and habitat wasted, destroyed for precious ore. And I can see clear cuts also. So it's another shelter, Forest Service shelter, and this thing is actually pretty cool, man. I could sleep here if I had to. Maybe I'd rather sleep in my tent, but... And there's not rodents all over the place. This is awesome, man. This is awesome. And I was just up here when I saw this, and my trail goes down this way. I found the other leg of the trail, which was a little strange because there's another trail, as I mentioned, going off around this way. So I'm just hoping that this one takes me down to a lower intersection. Actually, there's another shelter at that intersection. I mean, it makes sense in the direction that it's going. Yeah, so I'm happy, man. This was kind of cool, and I'm really close to these mountains. I was looking for some water from the snow melt, and it's not, at least not in this area here, it's not like melting and flowing. It's just, if it's melting, it's just slowly seeping into the ground. There's no running water here. Maybe under that over there. All right. Here's the last good close look there. And it's pretty high. I think it's 13,000 feet. It doesn't seem like it because I'm so close. So here I am on what looks like a hiking path, and I'm pretty sure I'm on the right one going back to the first intersection, but I could have been so easily thrown off and gone that way, which may have worked out, but I really doubt it. The thing is, with these sort of southwestern desert canyons, even though I'm in the Midwest, I'm in Nevada, so it's not south. It's in the middle of the country on the western side, but this is very similar to the New Mexico desert and mountains that I've traveled in, and you've just got tons of draws, curving, snaking draws, and it's so hard to make sense of it from above unless you've been there many times. And when I came up into this higher area, there was no indication of this trail going this way, or the road, or a marking for the shelter. There was nothing going off to the right-hand side to direct me to this loop trail. So it's fortunate I saw it from above, or I may have been going back all the way around. This is the opposite side of the trail that I came up on, and it's steep. I really wouldn't want to be hiking through this steep stuff. Well, I just hope it all works out. It's been a great day. This has just been so stress relieving. Just to get away from the cars and the people at the campground. You'd hear the car doors slam 20 times for really just once. And then you got the drive-through people that just wave and drive through. Yeah, it's a great morning here. It's my second morning in this national forest. Humboldt-Tiobe, I think. And Ward Mountain is up here. I hiked towards it yesterday. It was not cold last night, which I was so thankful for. With this Pacific time zone, it gets light early. I could probably get up at 4, and by 5 there would be twilight, and by 6 the sunrise. And of course, because of that, the day ends an hour earlier. Like by maybe 8 o'clock it's dark. The wind picked up. It was really non-existent last night. I'm wondering if storms are coming. There's sort of a high haze. So really the only thing I have to do today is go down to the campground and get some drinking water. I'll take my trash down there. Maybe try to get a weather report from the camp host. I could hear last night the highway as plain as day, and trucks doing their air brakes going southwest down the pass. It's strange because when I came back from the hike, it was completely silent. There was no sound at all. I could not hear anything, and there must be certain times when it's busier, like for instance after daybreak it was busy, and then it seemed by 8:30 or 9 it was silent, dead. I don't know. I've got a lot of weight on the bike in terms of food, provisions. The Gatorade, I have too much of that. That was a mistake to keep all of that. It's probably like 3 or 4 pounds, 2 bags. It's way too much. I'm gonna have to carry it and use it as much as possible. I kept a jar of peanut butter that I'm nibbling on, and I bought some fruit in Ely just out of an instinctual need for bananas and tangelos. They're really good, and I'll only be carrying one piece of fruit the next 40 miles to my next destination. Tomorrow I'm leaving for that. Also, my AA and AAA battery charger was sent forward to Bishop, so I won't be able to charge those. I don't know if I'll have a location to charge the camera battery here. I'm sure I'll be fine. Just a big question mark as to how I'm gonna get there. I'm definitely going to attempt bicycling the entire distance from Current Creek Campground. The next place for water is Tonopah, Tonopah. And my guess is I'll have to pay to stay there in a campground. I don't want to do any more motels. It just sucks the money right out of me, and the last two were horrible, not worth $20 to stay there a night. After that is Montgomery Pass, which is in the National Forest, and there are a couple businesses there. And then from there I can get to Bishop. This guy climbed up overnight on my tent screen, and I realized that he's empty. And then just above, I just noticed this guy probably came from this one over here. Yeah, I got the water. Took my trash down there. There's a garbage can now by the trailhead, but they haven't opened the water spigots yet. You can see this wind is getting a little hectic. It's coming from the south, maybe west. That's exactly the direction I need to travel. It's one day earlier than forecasted, but I did travel from the forecast area. Pretty sure it's going to rain. And that could be kind of nasty, because I've got a lot of trail that I have to follow back to the campground. And I know it's that stuff that just gets mushy when it's wet. So I just cleaned the bike too, man. I spent an hour cleaning the chain and the sprockets and the shifters. And I don't want to get it dirty again. Clean the stove too. That was necessary. Got an FM country station from Ely. They didn't give me a weather report. I checked at 2 o'clock there, got the news, the national news, and that was it. And I get another AM station about investing your money, and I don't get any weather channels. Well, we're just gonna chill here, see how things go. Come on. I was getting some good reception. And of course it's like USA News, something interesting, and it's fading out. Anyway, see, like that. I did get an updated weather report, and I can hear the thunderstorms expected, possible, tonight. It's off to the slightly north and west of here, but I'm hoping tomorrow is going to be my break. If this place doesn't get saturated nasty, tomorrow morning is the breakaway point, because they're calling for more thunderstorms in the afternoon. And it seemed like every day so far here they were building at the end of the day, but nothing let loose. been windy all day and threatening to rain, and didn't drop yet. Pretty dismal looking out there now, but they're calling for snow on Sunday, so I gotta get as far away as possible. I'm packing up, and it always helps to pack the night before. Anything that you don't need in this tent, just pack it away. Like all my dinner food is packed up. I'll pack the camera. Anything non-essential. I mean, I'd even thought about leaving without making coffee and making it on the road, but that's always a hassle, especially when there's no place to do it. So it's my third night here, Ward Mountain, my last night, and getting closer to Bishop. This is mostly phenomenal, and a cheat in the Bicycler's Handbook. I got a ride for almost 200 miles, and believe me, I'll take it today because that wind was strong. I had to bail out of Ward Mountain because there was a cool down and forecast of snow. So I just started pedaling and hitchhiking as I went. And a guy named Ernest with his RV van took me on. I saw him too when he went by. I'm like, man, I could get in that van real easy. And he came around, he turned around, and then pulled back into a pullout and waited for me. He is actually from Washington State. The Olympic Peninsula is where he lives, and we've actually tread on the same soil, so to speak, so that was kind of cool. We had a lot to talk about. The ride went fast. So right now I'm about 60 miles from Bishop, which is almost hard to believe. Some beautiful mountains here. That's the highest peak in Nevada. And I'll have to look in the book to find out the name. This is the end of the White Mountain Range. White Mountains. And originally I planned to go on the other side and climb over that range for the view of the Sierras and above Bishop. Those roads are gravel, but I might do it on my mountain bike when I get here. It's 13,000 feet or something like that. Right now, I think those are the Sierra Nevada mountains, or climbing up to them. They're in this direction, And I think, actually, that's the Pacific Cloud Bank. I don't think it's a storm. Over here, there's like a telltale sign of a, I call it like a cloud dome over a mountain. I was wondering yesterday why there's such a big point on this hood. Is it easier to make it with the fabric and everything to a point? It's like a cone head. It's so ridiculous to walk around. People, I'm going to my new home today after a very chilly night. 30 degrees this morning up here. 40 in my tent, just at the very, very edge of uncomfortable. It was cold in that bag. Mount Montgomery, or Montgomery Mountain, is that large mountain back there. Just beautiful. I wasn't up quick enough to get that picture of the pink sunrise. Not much else to say other than I've just been thinking about how to get my accomplishments accomplished.